Hey, you are royalty. You don't just put any old thing into your body. We don't do that. We don't just watch any old thing. We don't just hang out with any old body. Royalty, baby. Goddess posture. God posture. You know? We don't just do any old thing. We nourishing ourselves, nourishing our bodies, our minds, our spirits. Somebody been off track and needed to hear that and needed a reminder that you are royalty. You are.
This is the truth to why all star seeds, the chosen ones, whatever you want to call it, this is the truth to why we're all alone. Now, as a chosen one, as a star seed, whatever you want to call it, you better get used to being alone. You better get used to not having many to any genuine friends. And the reason being why this is the case is because we connect to a higher power. We connect on a deeper level, on a spiritual level. And most people in this world are not on that spiritual ranking. So when it comes to typical relationships, even friendships, and trying to maintain those things, it's like you have to dumb down yourself. It's like you have to lessen the knowledge that you know so that they can comprehend what it is that you're saying. And of course, you can teach people things and show them things, but at the same time, it's draining. It's draining to a chosen one. It's draining to a star seed because it's like you always have to make things like preschooled for people to understand the knowledge that you know and the knowledge that you have. And this is the reason why most star seeds, healers, priests, and priestesses are people that stay alone a lot, like monks. Monks are known, I know this is more so religious, but it's the reason being why monks are alone and they're not among a lot of people. Highly spiritual people, highly intuitive people that are deeply rooted in their own spirit and the spirits that are around them. They are people that stand alone and they're not afraid to stand alone. They're actually used to standing alone. They're used to being in their own solitude because it's not only more peaceful, but it's less energies around you. And to those who are empaths and those who can feel energy and feel those around them, and being in crowds can be very draining to you. Being in crowds can make you feel kind of sick. Walking into certain rooms and being able to pick up on every energy and person that is in this room, it can be a lot. And that's why star seeds, that's why empaths, they prefer to be in their own solitude.
We are run by satanic pedos who don't want you to understand anything about yourself. That's why they give you endless pleasure and entertainment. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, bills. Everything they do is to keep you looking outside yourself. Because the moment you look within, you start to realize you hold the power over your reality. And they're using us to create their reality. The elites don't do anything. They simply just control our perception. You gain your power back when you start to understand consciousness.
That old man said once you put the glasses on, you can't take them off. It's the same thing with the ears. Once you have changed the frequency of your hearing to a wave where you can hear the context, the underlining of everything, you can't go back. You really have to accept that we live in an evil ass world. That's why now, I'm not gonna lie, I really do be hearing shit within the first like 5 to 7 minutes, and I just be like, sometimes I just be like, okay, maybe you're thinking too much, or maybe you're just, you're being too hard. No, ain't no being too hard. You literally heard what you heard. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Also, Spirit said, don't forget to call your power back as soon as you wake up in the morning and release any energy that does not belong to you. So as soon as you wake up, I call all my power back from every person, place, or thing that knowingly or unknowingly siphoned my energy against my will. I also release any energy that does not belong to me, and I return it to sender times 10. And watch, just watch the chaos that starts erupting. You'll know exactly who's sending you bad stuff. Just watch the chaos. Just sit back and watch the chaos. Okay, bye.
Gotta check on your overly spiritual, overly whimsy, overly happy, jokey, jolly friends, bro. You have to, gang. It doesn't mean that life isn't hard for them, gang. They put on a brave face every fucking day because they don't have no choice. They don't got no choice but to show up and smile and be positive. Because what the fuck is the alternative? What is the alternative? Alternative is life is already hard and you're thinking hard thoughts, sad thoughts, negative thoughts. So through the pain, we smile, we laugh, we joke, we say our affirmations, we speak life into others, we speak life into our own selves, bro. Because even when tears are running down my face, I still tell myself, I got you. I'm here for you. I love you. That should take strength and courage. So as much as you think, oh, they just got it, they're just happy, life is just so fucking perfect for them. No, gang, I'm fighting, bro. Every day out this bitch. To not fall back into old patterns, to be a victim, sad ass bitch like I used to be. But this shit is hard, bro. It's not easy, bro. And one thing is, your spiritual, whimsy, happy, funny, jolly friend realizes that nobody's gonna come and fucking save them. So they had to get their ass up and save themselves. And that's why when shit happens, they be like, oh, alright, it's fine. It's cool. They still get up. They still work. They still put themselves together. They never look like what they're going through, bro, because they don't have no fucking choice. What's the alternative? Tell me.
You are so spoiled. Everyone loves just handing things to you. Abundance is so attracted to you. It forces its way into your life in every second, every single moment, every day. Abundance is forcing itself into your life. You are so energetically attractive to the energy of abundance. Every manifestation that you have currently is literally just a few knocks away from your door because you know how to stay in that receiving energy. You are spoiled. Period. Strangers like to spoil you. Strangers know exactly what you need and they know exactly how they can help you. Opportunities know exactly when to show up and they show up at perfect times. You are spoiled. Like, you are genuinely spoiled. Things are so easy for you. People are always asking, like, how do you make these things happen? You don't even have the answers because it's just an energy that comes with you because you are so spoiled. You are so energetically attractive. Your relationships, you get spoiled. Your friendships, you get spoiled. At work, you get spoiled. When you're just at a restaurant or a store, you get spoiled. Everywhere you walk into, people treat you like a VIP, like a celebrity, because you hold and harness that energy just by being you. You are so loved, and abundance is not something that is new to you. Abundance is something that is easy for you. Being abundant is your second nature. They should have named you abundance when you were born because you are so spoiled. Your energy is spoiled. Your energy is luxury. Your energy is sophisticated, and you deserve all the great things that have already happened in your life.
You never want to say, I will have or I'm going to have, because if you do that, it keeps it in the future. If you say, I have a wonderful new apartment, and you're living in a dump, it doesn't mean that this is not a true statement. It means you are planting the seed that will germinate and grow and become the new apartment. If you think for a moment, when you put a seed in the ground, you do not get instant tomato plant or instant strawberries or instant oak tree. That seed goes in the ground and it has to germinate. That's the first thing, which means it breaks open its little shell and little roots begin to go down. And it gets nourishment from the earth. And only then does the first little shoot come up through the ground.
Each and every time you step foot outside. We are living in an epidemic of people who hate themselves, hate their lives, hate what they wake up to every single morning. So when they go out in the world and they see bright and shining people, their main goal is to target them and take them down. And the only thing they want from you is a reaction, because at least everything else is going to shit, but I can get this beautiful bright light to react to my ugliness and my nastiness. Be careful. These people literally just want to be able to say they had a conversation with you, they were around you, they made you feel some type of, like, it's fucking sick. It's sick as fuck. And then not only that, some of y'all be in situations to where people are like in competition on who can fuck you over the most. And if you feel like that, it may be fucking going on. Oh, well, you did this, I'm gonna do this,
Never want to say I will have or I'm going to have, because if you do that, it keeps it in the future. If you say I have a wonderful new apartment and you're living in a dump, it doesn't mean that this is not a true statement. It means you are planting the seed that will germinate and grow and become the new apartment. If you think for a moment, when you put a seed in the ground, you do not get instant tomato plant or instant strawberries or instant oak tree. That seed goes in the ground and it has to germinate. That's the first thing, which means it breaks open its little shell and little roots begin to go down. And it gets nourishment from the earth. And only then does the first little shoot come up through the ground.
I told y'all, we're in a space where energy vampires cannot hide anymore. Within the last month or so, I've had a couple people that I'm not in the communication with anymore not tell me like they miss me, they want to see me. They have flat out told me like, I need your energy, I want your energy. They can't even hide anymore, G. It's so scary when people say that, because it's like, do you hear what you saying? Like, that's a lot of the reason why I have withdrawn so much of my energy, because I realized how much people were feeding off of my shit without, you know what I'm saying, without thinking that this shit got to be reciprocal. We're adults, boo. I don't even play like that. So when people flat out be saying to me like, oh, I need your energy, I mean, that's like, thank you for telling on yourself, because you really can't come around me now. Thank you.
Once you awaken to the fact that you have fake family, fake friends around you, you have to accept the fact that you are going to have to operate from a standpoint of dark psychology. The reason you can't just come out with it is because if people are purposely being fake to you, that means they're wearing a mask to get a purpose met, to get an agenda met. So therefore, you have to put on a mask. If you keep showing up to interactions with people that's wearing a mask with you, you're showing your vulnerability by showing who you really are when they are not showing who they really are. The easiest way to deal with this would just be to leave, but it's not always that simple. And if it's not that simple, you got to mask up. And the reason you want to mask up is so that you can get the agenda that you want met, just like they are trying to get an agenda that they want met. Because if you are somebody of value, people are going to be and do what they need to do in order to have you around. Once you are aware of the fact that people are playing you or trying to play you by being fake but still being around and still wanting you around because you're valuable, you have to create a game plan. Because sometimes getting out of situations is not as simple as just walking away from them. And nobody likes messy conflict, especially if it's unavoidable. So, when I say operate from dark psychology, I'm basically saying you have to come up with a game plan that's going to get you out of Dodge in the simplest, most peaceful way possible. And a lot of times that is through manipulation. You cannot show people what you're going to do. You cannot show people what you want. And anything that you are aiming for, once you realize that they are fake, you have to create a whole game plan, a whole pathway that does not include them. It's just not that simple for a lot of people. And so I try to be understanding of that. There's always a way to get out of manipulative situations with people, but it will not happen unless you are allowing yourself to be manipulative as well. And people don't be wanting to accept it. I like to test people, just for example, of some shit that I'm talking about. For example, if I think a friend or a cousin is fake, one thing that I have done in the past is to put a test in a way to see if they're going to pass or fail it. And I know that's some very like, what the hell? Yeah, I be on the type of time. I be on that type of time. I've even told men that I've dated, hit on her, see what she do. Once I realize who they are, then I know how to proceed with them. I know where to categorize them. I know how to place them. And that is what it's like when you are a person of value. When you are a person of value, you got to move strategically. This is why I be saying I think like a mob boss. You got to. Because people going to do all type of shit to keep you around. So you got to you have to test them to ensure that they deserve to be around. If you don't, then you just going off faith. And then here's another thing. You can have people that have been around. So you just automatically think that they some stand-up motherfucker until you get into a different frequency, a different vibe. Once you change your value, they will change the way that they deal with you. I say all that to say, when you are a person of value, you may have to, you're going to have to test the people around you. You're going to have to test them. They are for sure testing you. So you have to test them. Never in my entire life seen people get massively successful or get successful in general in a way that's very prominent and the people around them not change if they themselves are not successful as well. I've never seen that. Once your value go up, you have to change the way that you interact with people. And you already know that. People know that, but people don't be wanting to accept it because it's close to home. It's an emotional thing. None of us want to accept it. And so we kind of be in denial about it. Trust me, I know. It's going to bite you in the ass every time. Because everybody don't know what to do with value. And everybody don't know how to appreciate value. And it's your job to be, if you are a valuable person, to appraise the people around you and make sure that their value matches your value. And if it doesn't, you got to move according. Because if you don't, you're doing yourself a disservice and you are actively devaluing yourself. This ain't no easy thing to do. It's not easy, but it is unavoidable. And it'll cause you more trouble than necessary if you don't just accept it. Value requires respect, appreciation. It just requires a certain level of interaction. And people don't be understanding that shit. Because a lot of people, especially friends, family, are entitled. They're entitled. When they have a certain hold on your emotions, they in a certain space with you emotionally, they expect you to just deal with some of the shit that they be on, even though they on some slow shit. And sometimes you will have to accept slaw shit from the people around you. That's just a part of life and it's part of relationships. But you know, if that is actually happening in a way that is literally trying to hold you back from being successful in any type of way, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, socially, financially, then that's unacceptable to even have that around you, because that's depreciating. It's agreeing to be depreciated. So you have to move in silence like lasagna, like I always say. You know, you got to come up with a game plan. You got to make sure you got to be tactful, and you got to be very much here. That way, when you do cut that shit, you ain't going to feel much about it. It's going to make a lot of sense. I really like the way my bosses move in a lot of ways, because it be making fucking sense. Loyalty is royalty, and a lot of motherfuckers ain't got it. So, it is what it is, you know?
And here's the thing, you're built for it. You just steady staying around people, places, and things that want to dim your light, and so it makes you question yourself and second guess things when really you know who you are and you already know what to do. But everything around you is trying to distract you so you won't know that. So then you have to come back to that, running in circles, when it really boils down to you. You are the answer. You the trick of the trade. It's you. Clap it up for that.
If you are seeing this, you're meant to be here. I manifested you here with the help of your higher self, your ancestors, your guides, the universe, your spirits. Babe, You are here. Okay? When I tell you, you have been through the storm and you've been wondering, it was 10:55 on the clock as I said that, you've been wondering when your life was going to balance out, when you were going to gain stability, and really it just smooth to where the point where you don't have to worry. You're here. You're like, when is my turn? Babe, it's your turn, and it's been your turn. When you look back at everything, you're like, everything always worked out for me. Like, even when it seemed impossible, it always worked in my favor. And even though it might have seemed like it at that time, it always did. But baby, that's because you're chosen. You have chosen energy. You are meant for something greater, but you had to go through the storm. You had to be put in places and spaces where you were uncomfortable. You had to be around people that made you uncomfortable and made you unfamiliar with yourself to find what you truly wanted and to find the truth within and to find your most authentic self and to express that. And now that you are expressing that, you can live that life you are meant to live. You have overcame so much, 1:51 on the clock, as I said that. And baby, it's people have literally taken from you, stood in front of you, got in your way, and you were wondering, like, why me? It was all for your benefit. You have discernment. You have experience. You know what to look out for. You have weathered so many storms that you know when one is coming, how to shelter yourself. 233, as I said that, 234 on the clock. Babe, it's your time. It is yours. The time is now. And you should make no mistake and no doubt about it. And I have none. I have none. This message literally dropped into my heart. And I was inclined to share it with the collective. So if you are here and you're seeing this, and you're here right now, babe, this message is for you. Okay? So I need you to write something meaningful in the comments. All right? And share this energy with someone that you know needs to hear this. I love you. 3, 2, 1, baby, count down. Count down to you. You're an amazing being. Keep being that. I love you. 3, 3, 3. Everything is coming for you. Better and faster than you could ever imagine.
And the reason why people may think you're weird or you're difficult to be around is because you don't follow the rules of this world. And you don't want to have the regular conversations that the average person is having. You don't want to talk about bills. You don't want to be on the phone 2-3 hours gossiping about what somebody else is doing in their life. That's not what you want to do. And sometimes people, and because you're different, because you think different, because you act different, because you just say different things, people gonna deem you to be difficult. But really, you're just awakened. You know what I'm saying? You probably want to talk about your dreams. You want to talk about alignment. You want to talk about raising your frequency. You want to talk about how many sets you done did at the gym. You know what I'm saying? And the majority of the people are so stuck in this 3D world, in this robotic state. And you got to understand that anybody that goes against the norm, anybody that goes against what the norm is perceived to be in this world is going to be scapegoated. You're going to be deemed the one that's crazy or be deemed the one that's just off because you see the world in a different way. You see, you operate in a different way. You think different. You talk different. You act different. You know what I'm saying? Because you have awakened to so much truth within yourself, and majority of the people in the world have not.
Praying is begging. And why do I need to pray and beg for things? when my tongue is more powerful than a two-edged sword, which means that I can command these things into my life. You all have been tricked to fear yourself and the power that you have for so long that you can't even imagine life without calling on to something outside of yourself. But if I already gave you the power, if you were made in the image of me already, why would I need to then pray to God to get certain things when the power has already been given? But if you don't want to step into the power, into the knowing of what you deserve, you will forever be begging.
I'm telling you now, once you reach a certain level of spiritual awakening and emotional intelligence, people around you are going to have to go. You may have some type of attachment to these people, but I'm telling you, you will not be able to relate. If you have a problem, you will not be able to express it to them because they're going to call you delusional. And you won't even be able to explain to them why you have to go because they won't understand it. It's not a bad thing if you outgrowing your environment. If you are outgrowing your environment, you are doing something right. If they are not, they are doing something wrong. Now, I'm not saying go cut off all your friends because you're better than them. I'm saying when you begin to awaken and mature, you're going to notice a change. When you notice that change, act accordingly or they will keep you in bondage.
Another thing about chosen people is that chosen people can't be friends with everyone. You hear me? Like, chosen people have to be careful of who they let in their proximity. Okay? When you are chosen, you cannot be friends with everybody. You cannot conversate with everybody. You cannot tell certain people your business. When you are chosen, it's almost like isolation. Not fully isolation, but it gets close to isolation because when you're chosen, you're not going to fit in. When you try to fit in the crowd, you're not going to fit in. When you try to be friends with certain people, you can't be friends with certain people because people are going to start acting weird. Okay? People are going to start acting weird because they know that you're chosen. They see your light. These people know who you are. They know who you are spiritually. They know who you are. So when you try to be friends with these people, when you try to get validation from these people, they're not going to give you the validation that you're looking for. They are not going to give you the friendship that you're looking for because why? They know that you're chosen. Why do you think every time you try to be friends with people and it never works out? It never works out. Not because it has something to do with you or something that you did or said. It is simply because they see your light. They can't handle your light. They can't handle your realness. So what happens? They start acting weird. And in the result of them acting weird, it makes you feel a certain way. And now you feel like you have to back away. That's why friendships never work out with chosen people. I made a video this morning where I was talking about how chosen people are not supposed to work. Now, I want you to go watch that video, okay? Watch that video, drop a comment, and let me know how you feel about that video. Let me know if that resonates towards you. Because if it resonates towards you, then you are chosen. You know what I'm saying? Chosen people can't be friends with everybody. Chosen people cannot go everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because you are that light that shines. You're different. And when you are different, you're going to always come into drama with certain people. People are going to lie on you. People are going to gossip about you. People are always going to try to find something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just always something. Like when you are chosen, it's always going to be something. And that's why I also said in my last video, chosen people are not supposed to work. Just think about how many jobs you got interviewed at. Think about how many jobs you took. And you was at that job for like 4 or 5 months. And then now all of a sudden you feel like you have to leave that job because people are trying to bring you down. Like coworkers are trying to bring you down. They're trying to get you fired. They're trying to start drama. Same thing. Chosen people cannot be everybody's friend. So when you are chosen, it's going to come with isolation. You're different. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But yeah, if you ever been friends with somebody and it seemed like it never works out, that's because why? You're chosen.
In God's name did you choose to be a Virgo? So again, all earth signs are going to be connected to your root chakra, and this is because most earth signs are going to have a main focus on building safety, security, material foundations within their life, and that's all connected to the root chakra. But the best crystal for a Virgo is going to be jasper, cobblestone, or amethyst, and a primary life theme is going to be about perfection through service. If I had to look at all 12 of the zodiacs and I had to pinpoint a perfectionist, I'm gonna say it's a tie between a Virgo and a Libra, but we'll get to Libra. The Virgo's spirit animal is the bear. So let's think about the bear. Specifically, it's the black bear, but it could be any kind of bear. The bear is so loving and nurturing and kind, patient, right? But the bear will destroy you if the bear needs to defend what it loves. For Virgos, they excel with patience. They are the most patient of all the zodiac signs in my experience, in my spiritual experience, in my opinion, and they have a great deal of confidence in who they want to be patient with, in who they're going to give their time and energy to versus who they're not going to give their time and energy to. They're very black and white like that, which is a good thing. They're wonderful authority figures, and equally they can be nurturing and protective. And they're very connected to children. Most Virgos are very connected to children in a way where they want to love, they want to nurture, they want to protect. Again, this goes back to it being the bear totem for their spirit animal. A Virgo can be pretty damn competitive. They can be a little aggressive in spurts. They're typically not as consistently aggressive as, like, let's say a fire sign, but they have very keen minds. They're wonderful conversationalists. They're very inquisitive. They're very skilled at being able to draw out information from other people. This gives them an advancement in their intuitive type of abilities. They're very skilled at being able to tap into other people's inner peace, to find balance within other people's situations. Again, that goes back to the patience, but this also makes them wonderful healers. They have amazing memories, which again, if I was to say any other animal that would be related to a Virgo outside of the bear would be an elephant because of this. And they just have the biggest of hearts. They are probably the most versatile of all the zodiac signs. They hold so many balanced qualities. They have an enormous heart of generosity, but that's the thing too. Like, that's really important. They have such a big heart and generosity about them, but they also are wise enough to know who that belongs to, who's worth that energy, and who the fuck is not. They tend to be a little shy. They tend to withhold their own feelings until they feel comfortable around you, and they kind of have some tendencies to study and dissect and analyze things both internally for themselves and then for other people or situations too. They do this kind of to have like a grander understanding of how people operate, how the world operates, how they operate. Like, they're very intellectual, but they kind of come to this point where they realize that not everything can be understood in a physical sense alone. So this is kind of like the awakening process for the Virgo. They start to seek some type of spiritual growth in balancing their physical evidence along with validating like an inner intuition or the spiritual sense, right? So when they come to this awareness that life is always evolving, that there's the integration of both the spiritual and the physical, this kind of leads them to a perfection all their own and helps them along their mission to be of service to people around them, service to communities around them. Because they are so nurturing and so caring, they do tend to go into fields where you are being of service to other people.